All right, welcome back to DG360, everybody. We posted this. We're having a nice little community event with our family today. We posted this, how many days ago? About 2 days ago. I wanted some time on this one. Only 74 likes on this. Usually we get more traction with the votes than we do with just kind of like talking about things, but lots of comments. So I wanted to go over comments as well. We've got 48 comments on this that I'm going to go over where you guys took the time to comment on this issue. And this has to do with your gimbals being with gimbals and aim assist. So it's directly related to a poll that was put out there on Spectrum. And let's read what the poster. I basically copy pasted from this Spectrum post. We also had a vote, and we've got the results of that vote as well. Thanks to Invisible, he posted a vote on this to help us with this conversation. But let's read here what we've got. Wonderful discussion happening in our community on auto gimbals, and really it's just gimbals with aim assist is what we're talking about. Should Cloud Imperium consider allowing players to adjust the size of the gimbal circle to fit their flying style? Invisible says that the vote is still going, by the way. The percentages are not concrete according to the original poster and could be adjusted on each ship as needed. Also, the circle size can have restrictions on ships such as the recent Ares. Percentages can range from something like 50 to 100% on accuracy and lock times depending on the circle size. As usual, I will cover this in a blah, 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 blah. Here you guys are. We're here now. So this is an interesting idea, an interesting approach on this. You know, here's my thing. The meta for the longest time was fixed weapons. And as a hardcore PvPer, I understand that when it comes down to it at the end of the day, I like to pit my skills against another PvP pilot, and I understand that fixed. Oh, 1 second. One moment here. Snow Fox brought DiCaprio. Thank you, Snow Fox. Thank you, Snow Fox. Snow Fox got in the video. Thank you so much for that pledge. By the way, we are having a giveaway. I will interrupt this broadcast that we are having a giveaway, and it is meant for our patrons and our YouTube membership. We're doing I believe a Pisces, and hold on 1 second. Let's type this up. I've forgotten. Can you believe that? I believe. Let's see here. Yes, an Arrow and a Pisces, which is awesome, and we're going to call a winner on Christmas. And so if you guys want to enter, just become part of our patron, our membership, or our YouTube membership, and you can be entered for that. And it's kind of interesting because we're talking about these ships, and the Arrow itself is a wonderful PvP, a little PvP fighter. I love it. I previously liked the Saber, but now I'm kind of more into the Arrow when it comes to PvP. Anyhow, we're talking about we're talking about gimbals with the auto aim assist on it. Now I want to go over your comments, but before I do, I want to kind of tell you where I'm coming from in my headspace. As a PvPer, I kind of like the idea of like fixed because it is skill based, but I understand that when you're talking about the types of gameplay in a futuristic set verse, that there should be gimbals that do have some type of auto aim assist feature, as our own crafts in the 21st century do. You know, as our own technology already has this set in. So I understand, while I would love to just say scrap it all and let's just do fixed, I understand that's not the way it's gonna be. You know, that's just not the way it's going to be. I don't think Cloud Imperium's ever going to do that. But because of it, there's a couple different ways you can go about it. This is a great option, in my opinion, that you could do. Not the greatest. I think one of the things we need to do is we need to beef up the damage output on fixed weapons. There should be a reward for being a pilot that uses fixed weapons as far as damage output when you land a shot. That should be something that should be buffed a little bit. What should be nerfed a little bit is the damage on the auto assist. So weapons. So I'm approaching it from like a damage output concept. This is attacking it on kind of like an aiming accuracy circle with the aim assist, as it were. So these are kind of ideas that would help balance the PvP. That's a big topic for me. So I was glad that we brought this up, and I want to talk about your guys' comments, see where your heads are at. Michael says chaff needs to disrupt the gimbal auto aim. So that's something I would be in favor for. That's a very Elite Dangerous approach. That's exactly what happens in Elite Dangerous on your gimbals. What ends up happening is that chaff actually interrupts the target lock. Target lock time should be longer for gimbals that engage in this type of practice. So I believe that the lock time should be longer. I believe the damage output should be lower. And again, you could approach it from damage output or you could approach it from accuracy, but I definitely think that chaff should be. So I do agree with that, Michael. So you get a heart for me, bro, because I absolutely agree with it. Ronnie says, I found that many love to call the gimbal feature auto aim. The truth is there's simply a larger circle that must still be aimed by the pilot at any target in order for any rounds to connect. Now, yes, but let's be real here though, Ronnie. When you're using this feature, you have a higher probability of your shots hitting for the most part. Now, this does help out those that aren't involved in PvP. So I understand having that in the game. Like, I'm not against it. I'm not against having it in the game. I understand the utility of it. And I understand that it should be an aspect to people who aren't in PvP, who aren't taking the time to be skill-based, but there needs to be some type of balancing happening here. So Ronnie then continues to say, at no point does one ship fly itself and keep on target without input from the pilot, ergo no auto aim. Currently, a larger targeting circle comes with the trade-off of having to use smaller size weapons in order to obtain that larger size targeting circle. People also seem to love to claim that no skill is required in order to benefit from the auto gimbals, or auto assist aim, let's call it what it is. The truth is the pilot still must fly his ship and maneuver in such a way as to maintain the targeting circle, whatever the size fixed or gimbal on the target. Already gimbaled weapons have a missed chance. Yeah, and you know, he's downplaying it. Like, I feel like Ronnie is kind of downplaying it. I want to show you guys some footage here of when the initial changes happen on one of STL Youngblood's video to show you how often it actually connects with the target. Now, in order to engage this feature, for those that aren't aware, for those that don't PvP like myself, that don't understand how to engage this feature, you have to have a gimbal based turret and you can press R. Okay, now R, you'll see the assist, and you'll see that up in the HUD area. And what you'll see is then this dashed circle. So that's kind of what we're talking about with this auto assist, or this gimbal assist aim feature. So let's watch a couple seconds of this to see like how accurately this feature takes down targets. And as I'm talking, you're going to be able to see, maybe I should fast forward here, that most shots, if you are still lining up with the pip, like you still like, and I get what Ronnie's saying, like if you're lining up with the pip, more shots are hitting. You still have a probability or a percentage of shots getting to the target, even if you're not lined to the pip. But for those that are using this assist feature, if you are aiming at that pip, then you're pretty much going to hit pretty frequently. So, and that's what we're talking about. And so I hope this is a good example. And of course, I put it at the portion of the video where he's not really engaging too many targets. But here you can watch, like, look at the top right where you see this Cutlass Black just taking insane amount of damage, almost every shot hitting right there. You still have to be relatively close to the target. There still has to be some level of maneuverability, that you have to be a pretty decent pilot to get out of the way of this assist feature. But I would say that, you know, going forward with this change that has been in effect, I believe since February, that in order for this to be a game mechanic moving forward for me, what I would like to see is that somehow either we implement the concept that we have listed in our community, that was copy pasted from the Spectrum post as far as the circle size, or we talk about nerfing gimbal damage with auto assist feature, or the gimbal assist aim feature, or looking at buffing fixed weapons. Snowfox is saying it's auto kill. So I just wanted to be playing this for you so you guys got a concept of what it is that we're talking about for those that aren't familiar with or haven't played the game in too much in the PvP or combat realm, so that you guys understand what we're talking about. I'm going to say thanks for the read. Good stuff, because he took his time out. I didn't agree with everything. I didn't agree with everything that Ronnie said, but it still was a good read regardless. And that's what I love when you guys take the time out for these. Operator X says, please call it what it is. Auto aim. Yeah. We've already kind of done that, Operator. Blah, 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 blah. Once auto aim is brought into battle against experienced players, it should be easily defeated due to the long lock on times or the ability to ease break the lock with aggressive maneuvers. And even more so, Operator, I would say that again, we need to talk about chaff. I think that's a legitimate game mechanic that we need to throw in there, is taking chaff. I like that. In Elite Dangerous, I liked it. Some might say it would nerf the auto assist. And I'm not quite sure if we're talking about it being a complete nerf, if we kind of experiment with the parameters of, the target lock being broken, the duration of the target lock being broken, how long it would take for the chaff to hit so that the lock would break. So there's a lot of different variables on that, Operator, that could affect the balance. And I still think the chaff should be an instrumental part of that, because I believe that would bring a balance. I think doing that would then bring a balance, and then you'd start seeing fixed weapons being used a hell of a lot more. Tiberius Tigris says, the problem right now isn't the auto assist, it's fixed weapons. Fixed weapons need to have their tiny amount of tracking back, and they need to also have their convergence actually tuned. Yes, the convergence of fixed weapons are borked right now. Absolutely agree, Tiberius. And what I mean by that is, for instance, my Hawk has literally zero convergence at shots under 500 meters. So what he's saying is it just zooms right past. It's basically firing 6 bolts in a straight line. Same for the Saber, the 300 series. All ships that can roll around with a little spread of fixed weapons on their ships. Hey, Hormy, how you doing, dude? What did Verp say? I want to read Verp's point here. Verp says Sig needs to get chaff to work on missiles before they consider creating an improved chaff. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, Verp. Very, very good point, man. So that's a great, I dig it. I dig what you're saying, Tiberius. I get what you're saying. So that's kind of going in line with what I was saying about the damage output on fixed weapons, to buff that a little bit. Because if you're using fixed weapons at this moment, it's not the meta. It used to be the meta. It's not now. And there should be a slight increase on fixed weapons as far as damage output. I think that would be a wonderful thing to do. We just need fixed weapons to work as intended, says Tomo. Absolutely. Joe says, I don't like the idea as is. By the way, hey, Joe, what's going on, dude? I don't like the idea as is. Why would I ever waste 50% of my shots? Now, if you just make it the same size circle, but the closer you fire the weapon at the center of the reticle, the more accurate your shots. That's kind of how it is right now. So there's one size right now, as we saw in this video. Let's go back to that. And I want to thank STL Youngblood here, because we're using some of his content as far as, his actions on NPC here. And we're able to see this assist and what we're talking about directly. You can see that what he's mentioning is already kind of in the game. So as you are in the circle, you have a percentage of shots that are missed. And that when you line up the crosshairs on the pip, those shots do get onto the target much more than if they weren't. But what the poster was saying is that maybe what we need to do to balance a little bit more is to have the ability to adjust the circle size on the assist aim of the gimbal. It's an interesting idea. I will say that it is a very, very interesting idea. I wouldn't say I'm opposed to it. I think it's an interesting way to look at it. So thank you, Joe, for taking the time out. Malice from the Matadors, who knows all about PvP. Let's see what he has to say. It needs to be nerfed a little. And again, I absolutely agree, Malice. I do believe that the gimbal damage output or something in that effect has to be nerfed with the auto aim feature. The assist aim feature. Fixed loadouts should reward skilled players. Absolutely what I said. The auto aim should be scrambled with chaffs. Exactly what I said. And for God's sake, give turret gunners aim assist because it needs it. Turrets. We could talk about that for quite a while. So many cool ways to even things out, but right now Fix is underwhelming and the meta has definitely shifted to gimbals. Absolutely. Well said. That kind of mirrors exactly how I think about it. So, you know, that's pretty dead on to what I was saying. Serious Scepter. Elite Dangerous is a good model of how it should work. Absolutely. We talked about chaff. And Elite Dangerous's combat system is pretty dead on. That's one thing. You can't ever fight anybody because you can't find anybody in the game except for community goals. And now with the introduction of fleet carriers doing nothing but sitting there and looking pretty, it still doesn't bring PvP to the forefront. Let's not talk about the disconnects. Let's not talk about Elite Dangerous at all. But when you do get in combat, Elite Dangerous's flight model is really good when people stick around. And before engineers busted everything. Don't Noller says auto aim is a skill-based sim, or is it even Smith like target locking now with all these hit percentages? Best space sim ever. Thank you, Noller, for adding your little bit of sarcasm to this debate, this discussion. Battle Smoke Gaming says, no, the gimbal technology that is based solely off of where you look with your eye exists on military helicopters. Yes, it does. And I wouldn't say to get rid of them. Some people have. We will look at the vote after we're done with the comments. I'm interested in seeing what the vote turned out to be. It's in our Discord. Don't forget to remind me, guys, when I get to the end of these comments, that we need to go look to see how this vote turned out that Invisible has conducted for us. Thank you, Invisible, for doing that. Field Hood Gaming says, press X to have the gameplay itself. Star Citizen easy mode. All right. I like it. The little bit of sarcasm we're throwing into there. I like it. Jarl says this would make for a great skill cap while being simple to adjust for balance. So he likes the idea. Go into our Discord, Wolf, and look in our Star Citizen section, and Invisible can help direct you where you need to go, and we'll go there. So if you're curious on where the vote is, I will also link the vote in this video down below. I think that's essential to this community event so that you guys have the option to vote and put your thoughts out there. I know Donnie is watching right now, and he is employed by Cloud Imperium. So this is nice that he's here on this discussion with us, because I think this is important to talk about. PvP and combat is very important topic for a lot of us. Even those that are involved in the economic or trade type businesses that aren't going to do a lot of the pew, still going to want to put their voices out there. Let's see here. I also believe the damage gap between weapon sizes need to be increased. Interesting. Matt says, I say make auto aiming a game feature, give it a cost and a counter. Simple. It's a realistic expectation for a space age civ. We have this tech now anyways. Absolutely. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Make it require power and something to lock onto. If it pulls power, it's a self-balancing system. Wow, that's an interesting way to look at it. That's pretty cool, man. Make the aiming 90% in large circle, but you are lit up like a Christmas tree for others, or your long range scanning is hampered, or your shields are, or your weapons themselves do less damage. So he's saying, look at the different systems and let's balance it that way. I like that. Let's see. Our mobility is down. So he's giving us all these types of examples. Conversely, a ship not doing this could divert the power to any of the above. So he's saying basically, if you're going to use it, then let's start talking about the power needs of the ship. Let's start talking about the fact that let's amp up the amount of power that these things are going to consume. I think that's a neat idea. I think that's a pretty neat idea. Let's see here. It's easier to put chaff in that circle, making you miss everything potentially. Also, if you deploy your own chaff to avoid a missile lock, that now serves as potential cover for the enemy as well. Very, very cool. Very cool. Power usage is a very easy way to balance. I like that, Matt. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Okay, let's tell Matt. I don't know if he's still here on stream, but I like the way he went about that. I really do. The head gamer, accuracy should never be 100% on aim. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even 80-90% I think is a little bit high, you know. Even at an 80-90%, I think that's a little too high. Power usage is an interesting way, Matt. Power usage is an interesting balancing factor. I like it. I like that idea, Matt. Eradicator says, that's a decent idea. Never thought of it before, but it makes sense. How's Erad? Good to see Erad. Thanks, Wask, for the follow, dude. Appreciate you, man. Welcome to the family. Let's see what else we have. Gibber says, great idea and 100% better than current. Also charging lots of UC to man those AI turrets. So yeah, that's another thing. We haven't even really gotten to that. Needing to install what's called a blade into your computer so that you're able to have these things have NPCs that will man turrets. That's something that you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of NPCs. You're going to see a lot of people manning their turrets. Now we're talking about turrets with NPC. I think that's great for people that have larger ships with lots of turrets on it. And I think you'll find that many people will, in fact, not worry about having turrets manned by human players at all. That they will have God knows the AI needs to get a little bit better, though, to be a little bit more accurate. But they will have NPCs on their turrets or AI on their turrets, and they're going to be much better for it. And they'll, even if they're flying with multi-crew with other gamers, you're still going to see the pilots of those ships have like the gamers in the area, like the cargo hold areas, waiting to be dropped, and not even bother with them being in the turrets and just having a mixed crew, as it were. I think you'll see a lot of that. David says, needs nerf. The circle needs smaller for all ships, or the accuracy needs lowered drastically. Needs to be more skill based. So David's just saying, hey, this idea is not working as currently, and everything needs nerfed. He doesn't like it. Vital says, I got so used to flying with auto gimbals that I had to learn how to fly fixed. In my opinion, flying fixed gives you a lot better of a fighting and flight style, as well as being able to run higher weapons. Now, I agree, as a hardcore PvPer, I like to fly with fixed, but right now the meta isn't that, and I can see that when I'm in a confrontation, then I'm already and the reason why the meta is gimbals with the auto assist right now is it is very difficult to go up with somebody who has gimbaled turrets with this auto aim assist feature, and you're already starting out at a negative. So, you know, this is why it is the meta right now, where you have gimbals with the auto aim assist. I think the system is good as it is, and once the flight model is in better shape, everything will fall into place. Yeah, it's something that it's going to need constant work on. It's something that will need to continually be looked at and balanced. Balancing these mechanics are very important to the overall fun that you have, both on the PvE and the PvP side. This is an important issue. Countermeasures should affect the gimbal systems. Yes. So he's saying what we said earlier. Auto gimbals don't need anything. It is purely fixed weaponry that needs attention. Need to have a ship component for weapon systems. No auto gimbal, no fast quantum travels, no more QT to plan. That's Mac is going super extreme. Mac just went completely extreme. He's like, fuck you guys. Mickey says, to be very blunt, I was primarily a glaive pilot before auto gimbals were a thing. I was able to 1v9. Wow. With auto gimbals, it has made this kind of play even easier for me, as I hardly have to correct my approaches or put nearly as much effort into shredding another ship with the flavor of the quarter meta weapon system. Now, I almost find it significantly harder to go against gimbal turrets, absolutely, in a ship that can only be fixed. Yes, exactly what I was just saying. And the size 5 simply don't do the damage that justifies this vast difference in combat performance. Yes, Mickey, Thus, we get a very stale gimbal meta that is very boring to me. I would agree with that. I hop in a Gladius or Arrow and it's basically a win. I'm usually found trying to break meta just for the sake of flavor, and it's silly how much of a boost gimbals can give someone even slightly competent at piloting. God damn, you stirred up my PvP side. I give that 100% on that. I give that 100% on that. Mickey, congratulations. You got yourself an A. You got yourself an A. Windlord says, I like the idea. Somebody yawning in my stream? Oh, okay. Kelly, do not make people yawn in my stream. Look what you did to Verp. You're making him yawn. Don't make him yawn. I gotta wake him up. I hope that woke you up just a little bit while I was talking about that Verp. Jesus, Kelly, making people sleep on my stream. Windlord says, I like the idea. I am not a massive overall fan of gimbals as I like to fly HOTAS, but do appreciate the need for new players. You know, flying with the HOTAS even, you know, almost in a way helps or benefits, you know, with the auto aim assist feature. Oh God, now everybody's yawning. I'm shutting down the video. See what you did? See what you did, Kelly? Always trying to interrupt the flow. Do not interrupt this flow. Don't interrupt the flow. Just let yourself go. Slow and low. That is the tempo. Oh, sorry. All right. So anyway, I like the idea. I'm not a massive overall fan of gimbals as I like to fly HOTAS, but do appreciate the need for new players and starter ships to be given some sort of boost. It makes sense that they activated on size 1 for the starter ships, but I would like to have seen the weapon size dropped to 0.5 land vehicle size when used to incentivize those who practice with fixed. Fixed weapons work a lot better, again, with 3.82 after SOCS. Rectical, it does actually. He's right, slightly. And rectical convergence has improved. Maybe, yeah. I think larger weapons, say size 4 and up, should not have a gimbal option unless specifically built with one, like the Freelancer or turtle weapons. I'm not sure that that's actually the truth, but we'll go with that for now. Like the Freelancer or turtle weapons, as others said, there needs to be some mitigation or tracking disruption device to counter them, though. Yes, we all, I think, agree with that. God damn it. Okay, I'm going to end this video. You guys have just ruined it for everybody watching on YouTube right now. Let's go to the vote. Sorry, guys. I know Michael's pissed off right now. Michael, Torn, Tex, there's so many people here. I want everybody to know right now. Everybody down here, I'm letting you guys know that Kelly completely fucked up the rest of this video. It's all Kelly's fault. She's making everybody yawn on the rest of the video. So many people here that deserve to be read. Killian was there. Mosquito. There's Ted. I know Ted. There's Snowfox. He's on stream with us right now. Max Power. I know all these new names right here. Eagle. All these new names. I'm sorry I couldn't get to you because Kelly made people sleep on my stream. Thanks for watching. Let's look at the vote real quick before we go. I'm curious to see what people voted at. Visible, thank you for all this work that you put into this. And I apologize to Invisible as well, extending out my apology because Kelly's making people sleep on my stream. Take a sip of coffee. I'm irate right now. Irate. All right, so we got 38 people who voted. Is that correct? Is that what I'm looking at, or is that the percentage? What I'm looking at the percentages, right? Damn it, Banner. Damn it. Look at all the people asleep now. I thought this was a hot topic. Kelly's the anti-hot. Nah, she's actually pretty hot. I'm surprised because if anything, people should be awake when Kelly's on the stream. Actual votes on the right-hand side. Okay, thank you. Actual votes on the right-hand side, I believe, is what we're saying. Is that correct? Kelly. She's always trying to be the center of attention. Every time. So I believe, unless Invisible corrects me while I'm reading this, that the right side of that column is for the votes, or are the bracketed ones the votes? I really want to get this right. I believe it's the right side are the votes. So manual gimbals and fixed only. The old days. Wow. 38 people said, fuck auto aim assist features. I don't want it. Oh, no. Sorry. Wait, manual gimbals and fixed only. No. That's incorrect. Sorry about that. 38 people. So they want the gimbals. I'm a little bit confused. So they want No auto assist feature. So here we go. No auto assist feature. So when you're pressing R, you don't get the little dash circle. They just want it back to the, you're right, exactly. So they still want the gimbals to be able to move manually, but no auto aim assist back to the old days. Gotcha. 38 people. 38 people want it the way that it used to be. Fixed weapons only. Oh, no manual gimbals, no auto gimbals. That's a little, like, I'm surprised. Not really. The PvPer in me, the true hardcore PvPer understands the 32 people that voted for just fixed weapons, but I don't see that as being a reality. That's just not going to happen. You know, if you talk about the technology we have currently out that is existing, you're just going to have to deal with it somehow, but it's got to be balanced. It's got to be nerfed somehow. So I think that's unrealistic, but I understand those people who voted for that. So that actually came in second place. 32 people said only fixed. Wow. Current build as is 22, so 23 people right there. Auto gimbals only. What? Wait, what? That many people voted for that? That is insane. I have to put this down. I have to put this link down there. That's insanity. That's like easy. That's too easy mode for me. That's too easy mode. There has to be fixed. That's ridiculous. That I don't like the extremities. I don't like the extremes of all fixed or all auto gimbals. I don't like it. It's too extreme. It's too extreme. Legal aimbot says verb. Yeah. Wow. That's insane that came in fourth. And this is a small sample, by the way. So we really, I wish we had a larger sample size on this, so I definitely will be putting that down there because I want to review this again. Auto gimbals and fixed weapons only with no manual. 14. Reduce accuracy for larger aiming reticle. 8. So that's what we're talking about right now. Matt says no weapons at all kamikaze, all bonsai. Yeah, leave it running for a few months, and hopefully if Donnie's here, he can check out that post as well. I really recommend people go to this post and that you upvote this because it really is an important topic. Even though Kelly's making people yawn, this is an important topic to me. It should be an important topic to anybody that plays the game. Manual gimbals and fixed weapons, auto gimbals for non-fighters, larger ships only at 5. Elite D's chaff launcher mechanic. That I like that. I'm surprised that only has 3 votes. Probably because right now, like Verb said, it's not even working for missiles, as evidenced on one of my videos where I got shot with an Animus missile launcher. Auto gimbals for capital ships only 2. Okay, so we go down the list and it gets pretty sparse there, but the top 4, very interesting to see that. I'm surprised that honestly, I'm surprised with 2 of the results, which are the fixed weapons were so high only 32, but that just shows how hardcore and how deep the PvP or play base is. I'm kind of proud of those people, even though I don't agree with it. And the 22 people that said only auto gimbals. That's ridiculous. I don't know. Shame on those people. Shame on the 22 of you that only voted for auto gimbals. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Like that's counterintuitive to the entire game. Like I don't even know what to tell those 22 people. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. I want to extend out my condolences to those 22 people that only voted for auto gimbals. That's ridiculous. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. Please put your comments down below. This has been a very fun community event. Again, I want to thank Invisible for this topic, for making me aware of it. And always, having a great time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your support in the community. Don't forget, giveaway. We're calling a winner on Christmas Day. Thank you so much. And I will see you on the next vid.